Good morning. This is Marty with Excellence in Education Academy and Resource Center, Homeschool Resource Center. And one of the services we provide are classes that students can take here to make it easier for the parents, especially at the high school level, to teach classes that would take the burden off the parent. And today I'm privileged to introduce you to Malia Poggio, who's in our science department. She teaches several classes, including physical science, this class, as well as her own health class that she designed. It's with great honor that I can present to you a person that relates well with teenagers, very adaptable, and provides a very fun approach to the sciences, in this particular case, life science. So Malia, how are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you.
She is very good most of the time. And tell me about life science. What do you cover in your particular class, which is a class often taught to 8th grade and 9th grade, depending on
This one is 7th grade.
7th grade.
7th grade. It's a really great class if they're coming out of like elementary science to kind of warm them up for some of the higher level classes. And it's a really good introduction for high school biology.
Okay. For those who are non-science oriented, even in high school, it's a great introductory class and a good prep class. So if you're in 9th grade, don't feel bad. You can still be part of it. But life science is about all the living organisms in the world, including us, the human being. So you combine lecture and lab.
Yes.
Give me an idea of the ratio you're doing.
It's 50-50. So it's 45 minutes of lecture and 45 minutes of a hands-on lab each week.
Okay, very good. And tell me more about life science as a class from your perspective. Are you starting with single cell?
Yes, we do cells, we do bacteria, we cover plants, we cover amphibians, we cover birds.
Wow, see, quite a bit. And again, like we say, it's a beautiful introduction to biology, which would be basically 10th grade for those who follow the structure of public school systems. But on your lab, do you have just each individual person work in their own experiment, or do you have lab groups?
Most of the time it is lab groups. Sometimes if we're doing a simple lab about graphing, they can do it on their own. Yeah. But when we're doing dissections or maybe like fish respiration observations, we work in groups and they can kind of come up with their lab sheet answers together.
Here comes the terrible question. Parents, are you ready? How much homework do you give the kids?
They do get homework every week. But here's the thing. We go over it every single week at the beginning of class together. So if they didn't understand it, if they didn't get the correct answer from the textbook, we go over it together. They self-correct it and they can keep that for their studying. They will not be marked down if they didn't get it correct as we go over it together. And then they can study from the correct answers.
So your grades are based upon lab work?
Correct.
And testing?
Testing, yes.
And how often do you test?
Maybe once every week, maybe once every 2 weeks. It depends on the topic.
Okay.
So we'll sometimes combine some topics that go really well together, and they can take one test every 2 weeks.
And these are written tests?
These are tests online. They will be administered through Google Classroom.
Okay. In fact, the whole class has a Google Classroom Foundation.
Correct.
So the parents can be aware of their child's
Definitely.
current behaviors and progress.
I encourage parents to check Google Classroom, check to see what your students have turned in. You can always check on your students' grade. Parents are welcome to pop into the feed and ask me a question anytime.
The one thing EIE is that we're very transparent, and we do not want to keep anything from the parents. The sad part is some parents don't connect with Google Classroom, and then they're surprised at the end of the semester that their child has a D or an F for lack of performance. And at least with this system that you're using, there's no excuse for a parent not to know up-to-date progress on their student.
Correct. I also email the parents and let them know where their child is standing periodically,
Good.
just so they know.
Well, anything else you'd like to add to our discussion on this particular class?
I think this is just a really great class. If you're transitioning out of elementary science, or maybe you've never taken a science class outside of the home as a homeschooler, this is the best one to jump into and really kind of get your feet wet with science labs.
Well, all I can say is that I've enjoyed watching her teach, because as the administrator to this resource center, I do snoop on my teachers to see how they're doing. I like to have the interaction, and the teachers love it. So I can say with great confidence that your child will have a phenomenal introduction to upper level science, upper level meaning 7th to 8th grade and older, and they'll learn specific study habits, they'll learn lab habits, and the nice reward is they'll create new friendships within that classroom. It's amazing. We've had people come in going, I don't know anybody. And then 3 months later, man, they're like phenomenal friendships being formed within the class. True. And it's a lot of fun. And believe me, a lot of these relationships become permanent relationships. We've been doing this for 25 years. And our classes are designed to be fun, informative, and beneficial to your student. Well, thank you very much, Malia. I appreciate it. And for you out there, have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next